What's up, guys? Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Back again. We're going to test the Orion XTR-2250 again. This time we're going to use the SMD DeMoor Engineering Amp Dyno with guaranteed results here. So stay tuned and let's see what this bad boy can do. Alright guys, here we have the Orion XTR-2250 back on the oldschoolstereo.com test bench. Today we're going to run all the tests, but first up we're going to run the 8 ohm certified test, which this is going to give us an idea of the 4 ohm per channel output. The amp is rated at 250 watts by 2 at 4 ohms, so if we bridge it down we're expecting to see 500 watts at 8 ohms bridged. So it just makes it easier to bridge the amp instead of running it in 2-channel mode. So as you can see, columns up here, we're getting 578 watts at 14.8 volts. Alright, so next we're going to run the uncertified test at 8 ohms, and this takes us up to clipping, so we should expect more power output than the certified test, which takes it up to 1% THD. So as you can see, our voltage is up quite high. We've got over 15 volts starting. We're trying to end up with around 14.5 volts just to give us the 14.4 volt that most people can provide from their alternators. So as you can see here, we get 587 watts at 14.78 volts. So nicely overrated here. It does its power plus some more if you give it enough voltage. And now we'll run the dynamic test at 8 ohms. This gives a simulation of music because it does a burst. In this case, it does a burst at 40 hertz. So it's like a kick drum, something like that, with a quick bass note. Gives you an idea of what the amplifier can do, under a dynamic load. So as you can see here, we get 594 watts at 14.77 volts. So nicely again over the rated power, so does its power plus a little bit more. Alright, now let's put the amp bridged at 4 ohms mono. This is where the amp is rated at 1000 watts at 12 volts of the full frequency range from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So we're going to run the 40 hertz test here, and there you go. As you can see, we got 921 watts at 14.5 volts, so a little less than the rated power here for the Orion Beast. Now we'll run the Orion Beast uncertified. This is up to clipping at 4 ohms, and this is probably what you want to look for if you're planning on using this amp for subwoofers, because you'll never be able to tell that 1% distortion number with a subwoofer. So here, as you can see, not quite 1000 watts. We got 940 watts at 14.5 volts. So again, a little short of the 1000 watts that it's rated. Can this amplifier do even more power? Find out after a quick note here from our sponsor, patreon.com/oldschoolstereo. We have several supporters at patreon.com/oldschoolstereo, and thank you guys for your support. It helps us get through the monthly costs involved with running Old School Stereo. And also, these guys get behind the scenes perks and benefits that not everybody else gets to see. So if you'd like to support us for as little as $1 per month, check us out. Thanks for your support, guys. Alright, the last test we'll run here on the Orion XTR-2250 is the 4 ohm dynamic test. This gives you an idea of the dynamic capabilities of the amplifier. You can see we got a lot of lights flashing here to show the amp. You can see the clipping light on the amp as well, which coincides with the clipping on the 81. And we got 969 watts at 14.5 volts. Again, short of the 1000 watts, but not too bad. And here we have the results of the Orion XTR-2250, the beast. You can see at 8 ohms it did its rated power plus a little more. Again, we were providing it quite a bit of voltage, so that probably helped out. But at the 4 ohm load, we didn't quite get to 1000 watts, so we didn't quite get to rated power. But still not too bad, 940 watts versus 1000, not that big of a deal. So thanks you guys for watching. Stay tuned, more amp tests coming soon. Until next time, I'm out of here. Alright guys, for those of you who stuck around to see the very end of the video, I actually did a 2 ohm bridge mono test on the Orion XTR-2250, so I thought I'd go ahead and add it to the video. This is a dynamic test, and as you can see, 1288 watts at 14.12 volts.